Remnant 2 is naturally the sequel to Remnant 1, which I'm going to be honest, I did not get into very well. I did not find much of it very enjoyable in the early game, so I did not stick around until the late game where apparently it gets really damn good and very, very weird in the story aspect, which seems to bleed very heavily into the first parts of Remnant 2 with its weirdness. But other than that, the story of Remnant 2 did not really capture me highly. It was a bit bland and boring, but it served a good enough platform for some amazing gameplay, which I will be getting into later on in the video, so please stay tuned for that. I hope you will enjoy my take on this game. I suppose we should start at our deep dive into the environment and the overall graphics, I guess. The player models aren't the greatest, I will admit. They are good enough for this sort of game and this generation. They're very passable, but the game truly shines in just how the world itself looks and the enemy models and variety and just design of everything in this corrupted world. I can't fault any of the 5 unique areas for them having each a unique kind of theme, and each theme is very vastly different. I will have some footage in the background, hopefully, to show off some of these beautiful environments, because they are something you really have to see to believe, and just for that alone, that it's worth trying out the game, honestly. But now on to our next segment, on to where the game truly shines for me, and that is within the gameplay and more specifically the combat. It is frankly very divine and satisfying to use a lot of these different guns. They all serve a single purpose, and that is to slaughter your enemies in very creative ways. No two weapons that I have used have worked the same. They've all had their pros and their cons. None have been truly overpowered in any form. And another neat thing these weapons do, of course, you can put strange modifiers on them to increase very minute details, or you can also just equip attachments onto them to give them very useful and fun abilities, like a healing grenade, or if you just want to fire some shrapnel at someone. Or, a personal favourite of mine, summon a tentacle from the earth to attack and harm any victim's poor mind. But staying on the subject of gameplay, another area which I found rather enjoyable was its dynamic difficulty. Of course, you can select 4 different types of difficulty modes when starting a game, and it respects these for the most part, but they will fluctuate during boss fights and just normal encounters in the world, depending on what level you are, what strength your gear is, and so on and so forth. But going on to the environmental design as a whole, all of the maps are beautiful, yes, but they are also all unique and very heavily emphasize that you explore them. If you don't explore, you will not find any of the useful or fun or powerful items in the game which will help you survive and eventually beat this game. There is likely so much I have not yet uncovered in my 50 hours of gameplay, but that is probably to be expected in a game like this. I will have to put in some more time after this video, which I am going to be happy to do. And yes, this game does have the standard single player co-op options. This time, unlike when I tried Remnant 1, I attempted some of the multiplayer with some friends, and I have to say it is far, far better and efficient with friends. The seamless multiplayer and just drop in and drop out style works very well in the game's favour. And to anyone that's hesitating or relies on friends on game purchases, then you have that covered in this game, so you don't have to worry about that, my friends. Though I guess now we should get to the few things I dislike about the game, and they are mostly technical things. So let's get into them right now. The AI is way too inconsistent at times. Enemies do not act like they should at times. People may like this, people may not. I personally dislike this. I like it when things are predictable, especially in a game as difficult as this. Sometimes the difficulty spikes are a bit tedious. They are a bit unfair, especially in the mid game and late game. And another flaw that I have with the game, which is more of a major hindrance, is some of these bosses. They are just a bit too stupid with their attacks. They are very cheap, and some of them really did turn me off playing through the game, but I persevered in the end and eventually got to do it, usually with the help of, again, my friends. So if you are ever having difficulties with anything that is a bit too BS, then just rely on the co-op is all I can say. Aside from those two, there isn't really anything else I majorly or minorly dislike about the game, to be honest. So in conclusion, Remnant 2 is an outstanding game for this year. It looks amazing, its world design is great, the gameplay is phenomenal, and I haven't played anything as good as it this year so far. It does have its small downsides, but that is to be expected nowadays, and they may get fixed, they may not. They are personal issues, but someone else might agree with them. People may agree or disagree with my take on this, but we'll have to see. So I guess that is it for this short video. I hope you found this informative or just a little entertaining for my opinion on this amazing game. If you like the video, please like it. If you dislike it, please dislike it. And I will see you in the next video. I am out.